Hello, Altaloma High Braves. This is Miss Thomas, your teacher librarian, and I'm here today to help you learn how to use our library catalog as well as point out our monthly book talks. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'm going to help you find that first. So we're going to start by going to the Altaloma High Library website, which is altalomalibrary.com, as you can see up here. You can also get there by visiting the quick links page from your Chrome browser on your school Chromebook. There's a link, and there's also a link under resources on the Altaloma High School website. So one of those three ways, if you could get there, and then on our library website, under the reading tab, we have one link to the catalog, and we have another link to monthly book talks. We're going to start with that one. So on our monthly book talks page for August, our theme has been social justice. That'll change to a new month and a new theme pretty soon here. And for our social justice book talks, there's a video that if you haven't seen yet, I'd love for you to check out. It gives you some ideas of some really great books, really powerful moving books, and I hope that you enjoy them. It also talks a little bit about how our library is organized, to kind of, how our fiction section is organized by genre. And then beneath that are some directions, written directions on how to log into your library account. And beneath that is this video. So if you ever need a refresher on how to log into the library catalog, this is where you would go to find that, okay? So back up at the top under the reading tab, there's this button for library catalog, but also if we go back to the main page, there's a gray button here that says library catalog. Either one of those will take you to the same place. So select one of those, click on it, and our library catalog first comes up with all of the schools in the district. So we first need to click on Altaloma, and then we can log in. So the upper right-hand corner, there's a login button. Your username is your 6-digit ID number, just the number, nothing after it. And then your password is your 5-digit ID number with capital P, lowercase w, lowercase d. My login is a little bit different. Just make sure you use your 2 ID numbers. And click login. And here we can look at, under My Info, what books we have checked out, both textbooks and library books. And if there's any fines or holds or anything like that, that'll show up here as well. On the catalog button here, this is where you would search for library books, but we have a different version of the catalog that I think you're going to like better. So if you could instead click on Destiny to Discover over here on the left, that's going to open up the same catalog, but it's just a little bit more visual of what books we have. And you should still be logged in. It should still have your name up here. And then you're going to be able to see some books. So the top row here are brand new books to the library. And you might be thinking, well, why is Harry Potter a brand new book? And it's because somebody lost a copy of the book, and so we got it replaced. And so it's brand new copy. And there's some other books, and you can kind of scroll through. Some manga for fans of you that like that. Beneath that, popular books in the library. So these are getting checked out a lot recently. The Hate You Give, 1984, Clap When You Land, that's a brand new book. You can see some of them say out in this red triangle. That means all of the copies currently are checked out. However, you can place a book on hold, and when it becomes available, we'll notify you, and then you can come pick it up. Even for the books that are in, which you can see with this green triangle, even for those books, you'll need to place them on hold so that we can hold them for you, and you can come in and to the front office and pick them up. Just know that those will be ready immediately, and the ones that are out will be ready when the person who's borrowed it brings it back. Okay? So those are some popular books. Then it breaks it down by topic. So let's say you're like, I don't know what to look for, but you know that you like sports fiction, for example. You could click on this, and it'll give you a list of all the sports fiction books that we have. And so it'll give you some ideas. You can see that hold button right here. Now make sure you don't click hold for every book, because it is going to limit you to 3, and it doesn't let you unhold a book. So make sure you only put a book on hold if you're sure that you want it. And you can also, as you're scrolling through here, finding books, if you want more information about that book, you can go ahead and click on the title. And not only will it give you a summary of the book, but it'll also suggest other books that are similar that you might like. So here's the summary. That hold button is there again. You could add this book to your collections. You could Here's a little bit more info, how many copies we have. And this one actually isn't popping up with suggestions, so we'll try another one. For whatever reason, this one didn't do it. Okay. If you're not ready to put the book on hold, you could just mark it as a favorite, and that way you would know to kind of go back to your reading list and find it later. All right, let's go hit the back button here and go back to our main page. So that was topics. We also have ebooks and we have audiobooks. And we don't have that many, unfortunately, because they've never been quite as popular as reading out of the actual book. But now with us being on distance learning, they were probably going to gain some popularity. So if there's a book that you would love to have as an ebook or as an audiobook, please let me know that, because I would love to purchase books that, our students want to read. So you can scroll through and get some ideas of what we have as ebooks and what we have as audiobooks. You'll probably see some familiar titles on here. And you check those out all by yourself. Like, that's just part of your account. You can play it from your phone. You can play it from your laptop. You don't have to, involve the library in terms of placing it on hold or anything like that, unless it's checked out already. Okay, so let's click on, actually, let's talk about some of the books that you saw if you've already watched the monthly book talk video. One of the authors that's really popular who's mentioned in there is Jason Reynolds. So we have this search bar up top. So we can search for anything in that search bar. Title, author, a subject, the name of a series, anything that, you find interesting. So let's say you saw a book by Jason Reynolds, and he's a popular author right now. And so you're going to type in Jason Reynolds and see which books we have of his. So you can see All American Boys, which is a really popular book, co-written with Brendan Kiley. This version is in and this version is out. And here's where you can find the difference. This one is the actual book, so we still have copies of that available. This one is the ebook, so someone has already checked out the ebook to read. Okay, so again, there's the hold button, there's the favorite button. If we scroll down, we can see other books of his. The other thing I want you to notice is this sublocation. So this one falls under the sublocation realistic relationships, but sometimes authors, they write about different subjects, so not all of their books are in the same sublocation, because this one is in the sublocation realistic adversity and overcoming. So you'll find this one, because it's about sports, is in the sublocation action packed. So an author's books are not always in the same place, because we found that students kind of responded to finding books by genre or topic more favorably than they did just by author. Long Way Down is another one of his books that's really popular. Let's look at that one. We'll click on that title. So you can see that we have copies available because it says in, so we could place it on hold if we're sure we want to read it. Here's where our suggestions pop up. So over here on the right, most of the books do this. It'll suggest other books that you might like to read. So you're like, oh, that looks interesting. This Agony House one looks kind of interesting. Let me click on that one. I want to learn more about that one. And if I click on that, I can see, well, actually, this one is in a totally different sublocation, mystery, suspense, thriller, and horror. And maybe you say to yourself, wow, I love mystery books. I just want to search for mystery books. So we can do that. We can close this and go back to our search bar. And instead of searching Jason Reynolds, we could set our search options. So we click this options button next to it. And see where it says sublocation here? I'm going to change that to just mystery, suspense, thriller, and horror, and click set options. And maybe what I really like are books about crime. So I type in crime, and now it'll search for crime books within that sublocation. And so then I can see maybe kind of a more tailored list that meets my needs. So you see some Stephen King in there. The book that we just looked at is in there. Murder on the Orient Express. This Two Can Keep a Secret. That's the really popular one right now. Gone Girl. So maybe this is more of what you're looking for. So those are just different kind of search tricks on here to help you kind of find the book that you're looking for, because we have thousands and thousands of books, and you don't want to go through hundreds of search results. So the more you can tailor it by what you're interested in, the easier that'll be. One last thing on here. So the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner, this is kind of like where you can find your account information. So your checkout. So if you check out any ebooks, or that's how you would access them, by going there. But if you also check out physical books, the names of them would be there with the due dates. Any books that you have on hold would be here as well. Okay, so that's where you would get that that information. The audiobooks, I'm sorry, would also be under checkouts. Okay, Braves, I hope this helped. I can't wait for you to start reading and using our library and using our catalog, and happy reading.